Where does Goku GT fit on the Dragon Ball FighterZ tier list? Is he a top character? Is he maybe not as good as we initially thought? Hey folks, my name's Globku, and the question has been floating around the internet for a while now. Is Goku GT a pay-to-win character? Is he a top tier character? Where do we place him on a tier list? Feel free to skip to the end of this video if you just want to find out about his placement, but honestly, knowing where he is on the tier list without knowing what put him there in the first place is pretty useless knowledge. It's how a scrub would use a tier list. And since we're not scrubs, we're gonna have a deep look at his toolset, the tech that has already been discovered, and also his weaknesses, if he has any, to figure out where he belongs on the tier list. And this is the tier list we're working with. It's a tier list I made a couple of weeks ago, and you guys received it pretty well. So first of all, I just want to say thank you. You guys are absolutely the best viewers out there. Obviously, you disagreed with some characters. Some people said, I don't know, Vegito should be higher. Others said Frieza should be higher. But there wasn't really a consensus on anything wrong with the tier list. And if anyone had a problem with it, it was usually restrained to one specific character. It created debate. You guys were super polite. So in the end, I think that's a good tier list because it sparked conversation and there wasn't anything offensively wrong in a major way. So this is the tier list we'll be inserting Goku GT into. And at this point, most of the pro scene seems to agree that Goku GT is a really strong character. But how strong is he actually? This is where some of the pros start to disagree. According to Goichi, this guy could be a top tier without a shadow of a doubt. And you can easily see why that's the case. Goku GT is a massive touch of death machine. One mistake and he can convert into a touch of death in situations where a lot of other characters can't. If he's got the meter, he doesn't even need to spend his sparking, and if he doesn't have the meter, sparking touch of deaths are also super easy to execute with this character. With only 2 bars of meter, he can touch of death off a fuzzy, something that Goichi posted himself. How insane is that? I'll be using some Twitter clips from different users. If you like what you see, hey, you can always follow them on Twitter. I could also lab this stuff myself, but I got a video to edit. This video. Now, this touch of death stuff doesn't just apply if he's the character on stage. If he's on the bench, he can also just super dash and finish that touch of death for your main character, making him a crazy good support. Are you for real right now? Oh man, it might be time to practice those Goku key blast loops. To be honest, I should have done that a long time ago, given how much I play this character. And of course, support-wise, he's also got that juicy beam assist. I've heard a lot of people crying when the character came out because the beam wasn't horizontal like Super Saiyan Goku and Goku Black. Is the crying still happening? Honestly, I don't think so. I think quickly people realize how strong this assist is. Yes, if the opponent stays on the ground, it doesn't hit them, but how easy is it to react to an enemy that leaves the ground? The assist straight up locks them in place, allowing you to get in and win the neutral pretty much for free. Plus, on snapback, it has the perfect height for mix-ups. It's easily one of the best assists in the game. He works with pretty much any character, whether they are assist intensive or not, so in the end, it doesn't really matter if his beam isn't grounded and horizontal. It's still crazy good. So he's definitely got the damage of an S tier character, and he's a great support character that can fit into a lot of different teams. And much like Goku, if you want to be an S tier viewer, you should go premium. Premium bushes allow me to make more of these high research, high editing videos. Without you guys, this channel would be, let's be honest, a lot lazier, because simply there wouldn't be enough time to do all of this stuff. But we're still not able to make videos like this on a daily basis, and that's where I'd like to get to. $4.99 a month, that's less than 17 cents a day. You can go premium by clicking the join button below the video or patreon.com/Globku for bonus rewards. That lets me hire Rinnegan to edit more videos, and you guys get this level of quality on a regular basis. Less than 17 cents a day! But now back to Goku. Obviously, a character is more than just damage. In order for you to deal that damage, you gotta first open up your opponent. How easy is it to open up an opponent in order to deal this massive damage? How is Goku's mix-up game? Honestly, I think it's looking pretty solid as well. Goku is such a small character that he can completely hide behind bigger assists, so his high-low mix-up is incredibly scary. That is of course because he also has a low 2L, so even if he's in the air, that low is gonna come out really fast, and on top of that, a lot of his moves have him bouncing around being super scary. You never know when he's gonna do a late overhead or just go straight into an empty low. The power pole move, for instance, if he drops down with an assist, the timing between a light overhead or a low is so tight, it's so scary to block. And that's just one of his options. He's got true block strings for days. All of this you see right now is a true block string. You have to block this perfectly. So if you insert an assist right here, you can cover that gap for resetting the block string, and your opponent needs to guess if you're going high or low. It's not a pure 50-50, but it sure is hell scary, especially if your assist is big enough, like Trunks for instance. How are you gonna see Goku behind all of that? Seriously. Even his solo pressure can be spooky, because he's got a lot of safe block strings, and a lot of the moves that are punishable have options to bait those punishes. For instance, this power pole move puts him in the air. First of all, the opponent has to block this power pole low. A low that is this late in the block string, it will sometimes open up your opponent. Then once he's in the air, he's got a few options. None of them are airtight, but they can catch different punishes. If Goku goes for a 2H, he essentially resets the block string, because this 2H, low enough, it's plus on block. This option, however, can be punished by an opponent's 2H. But if you know your opponent is gonna anti-air you, he's gonna counter you like that, your options are tremendous. First of all, the Rasengan will catch them, allowing you to confirm into a vanish combo. So will a beam attack or any other options if you cancel this move before leaving the ground. You can even make them super scared of punishing with a 2H by simply backdashing and punishing the whiff. That totally just says, I knew you were gonna do that, and now I'm gonna blast you so hard you're gonna be put out of Dragon Ball canon. And that's not even to mention the snapback shenanigans his assist give you. Like, what the fuck just happened there? He's also got the best level 3 in the game with his Spirit Bomb. It gives him such amazing pressure afterwards, besides it giving him incredible damage, which just makes your opponent feel like he's always one touch away from dying. So damage-wise, he's an S tier. Mix-up wise, he's an S tier. He's also great support. The case for S tier seems pretty solid until we get to neutral. Neutral is where everything starts to crumble. Like many other small characters in fighting games, Goku's buttons are kinda bad. He loses most exchanges because he's got very small limbs. This makes his neutral game absolutely terrible. But he does have other tools to make up for it. First, he's got a beam. It catches a lot of people pressing buttons because of its high priority, and it's got good angles if you don't use it recklessly. Secondly, his auto combo has some weird priorities, and it will win in a lot of situations because of that second hit flurry. But again, those stubby limbs will also cause him to lose some exchanges. I'd say the only real good option he has to get in is the Rasengan. In particular, the EX version, it does cost 1 bar of meter, but it's pretty easy to cover the gap with a lot of assists, and it also gives you a high-low mix-up chance. But even that option, which is so great, can whiff if the opponent is simply running forward. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of his neutral options. The power pole covers a good portion of the screen horizontally. It totally can catch opponents, but in my opinion, it whiffs more times than it hits, because you gotta be lined up perfectly with your opponent. And then the reverse Kamehameha, while I think it's a great tool to run away, to get out of the corner for example, I don't really see it as a great tool for getting in close. Simply because if you hit your opponent or he blocks it, you've got this huge landing recovery. So most assists won't be able to cover that entire gap. You will need some specific characters for that. I was feeling pretty good about that S tier until we started talking about neutral. It isn't bad. Goku certainly has his tools, but I'd say it's mediocre at best. And if we look at those top tier characters, I mean, Gohan's legs are way too big. They are deceptively long, but that gives him amazing normals. Plus, in the air, if he starts machine gunning those legs and you're close, you've lost the neutral. Kid Buu has Ki Blast. He has a grounded and aerial beam. His limbs stretch pretty far, so even though he's a small character, his normals have amazing reach. Bardock also has the Ki Blast, great normals, and of course the Lariat. And Piccolo also has great normals. I can't tell you how many times my Super Dash was just eaten by his jumping light. And then of course the orbs can just be a pain to deal with if you're playing an experienced Piccolo. Personally, I don't see Goku GT on the same level as these top tier characters, at least as far as neutral goes. I think his mix-up game is good, but also maybe slightly below the top tiers, with the exception of maybe Bardock. The only place he's on par, or maybe even better than these top tiers, is damage-wise. Goku has more damage than any of these guys, for sure. But I can't help but feel that that's his only strength over the top tier characters right now. So in conclusion, I don't think Goku GT belongs on the very top of this list, but actually right below it. That's where I'd put Goku, but let me know if you disagree. Make sure to back up your argument by destroying something I said previously, or by adding to the conversation. Why do you think Goku should be higher or lower? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget that for videos like this, with a lot of researching and editing, we need premium bushes. If you want these types of videos every single day, I need your support. For less than 17 cents a day, you support the videos you like, and you get to be a part of exclusive live streams and tournaments, for instance. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.